Hey, what's going on, everyone? So today's some advice to both parents and players about promises and being wary of promises. I've been hearing the word promises from a lot of high school players, college players, travel ball players, and parents lately. And these have varied from, I was promised to be on the team, I was promised playing time, I was promised to be a starter, I was promised a college scholarship. And to me, promises are a red flag. They're oftentimes just a sales pitch. And so I'd be very careful if you're both a parent and a player to be wary of promises and to not fall for them. Now, for me personally as a coach, again, no matter what level it's at, whether it's travel ball or high school, I try not to promise anything. The only thing that I'm going to promise a player is that I'm going to work as hard as I possibly can to get that player better. And I'm going to do the best job that I can at giving them advice that will help them both on and off the field. But after that, there are no more promises made. So as the travel ball coach, I'm not going to promise a player or their family that that player is going to play at their dream school or play Power 5, play in the ACC, play in the SEC, or even play college baseball in general, because I'm not in control of that. And so can I help? Yes. Can I help through the college coaches that I know? Yes. Can I help through the development that we've had with former players and the amount of players that we've helped move on to play college baseball? Again, yes, I can help with that, but I can't promise anything because it's not me that controls that. It's the college coach that ultimately has to pull the trigger. And so I'm not going to promise anything. And so if you're being told by people, which a lot of players are and a lot of families are, we promise we'll get you a Division I scholarship, or we promise we'll get you to play at an ACC school. How could the coach possibly know that? They're not coaching at one of those schools. They have no control over who gets offered and who doesn't. So don't fall for those types of promises. And the same thing with me as a high school coach. We just went through high school tryouts. And so as a high school coach, I'm not promising anyone that they're going to make the team or get a certain amount of playing time or play a certain position. Because although I do choose who's going to get those certain things, there's lots of other players competing for those spots. And so I'm not going to promise anything. Again, that's up to the player to play as well as they possibly can and earn those things. But I will not promise them to players. So again, the only things that I really promise is that I'm going to do everything in my power to help the player become a better player. I'm going to work as hard as I can to give that player the knowledge and be there to support the player and help them improve their game. But after that, it's up to the player and their performance to then earn anything else that they're going to get. So really, I think it's two things. I think it's one, stop falling for the promises, because there are so many players that I'm hearing from over and over again that are telling me that they were promised these certain things. They went to these schools because they were promised this. They went to these teams because they were promised this. And then those promises are broken. And then they get all upset at the coach for promising them things. Well, don't fall for the promises. And so my opinion, you don't want to be promised anything. My mentality when I was a player was that I didn't want to be promised anything from a college coach or a high school coach or a travel ball coach. When I went on my recruiting visits to schools, I wasn't trying to get them to promise me to be a starter or even promise me that I was going to be on the team. And I hear that sometimes. I coached in college, and we would have players come in and they would say, am I going to be a starter? Well, I don't know, and I'm not going to promise you that. That's one thing at Holy Cross. I learned this early when it came to recruiting. Coach DeCenzo, who was the Holy Cross coach at the time, he was the one that would always say, I don't make promises. I'm not going to promise you a starting role, right? Because players would come into the office and say, am I going to be a starter? Am I going to play shortstop? Well, I don't know, right? That's up to you. That's up to you and how much you develop and how hard you work and how well you perform. And so I know that we didn't want players that wanted to be promised things, right? You have to earn it. And so again, going back to me as a player, I did my due diligence. I figured out, what other players are these schools recruiting, or who have they committed? What players do they have returning at my position? So I'm doing my homework, but I'm not promising anything. I'm not asking for promises. I'm not asking that even though you recruited these other few shortstops, do you promise that you'll give me the first chance or that you'll put me out there and start me over these other players? No, I'm going to earn it. And so my thought was, once I decided on whatever team it was that I was going to play, well, then I'm going to go and I'm going to kick your you-know-what, and I'm going to force the coach to put me in the game and to make me a starter because I'm better than that player. That was it. I didn't want to be promised anything. And if I didn't play over somebody, well, then that's on me. I've got to work harder. I've got to get better. Clearly, the coach believes that this player deserves to be in the lineup more than me. Well, I'll show you that I deserve to be in the lineup more than that other player. That's the approach I always took. And I think that's the approach that you want to take. Don't fall for the promises. Don't want to be promised anything. Go out and earn it, because most promises, unfortunately, most promises by people, if they're promising you things, then you're not the only one that they're promising. They're promising other players the same exact thing. And guess what? Someone is going to get that promise broken. Oftentimes, most players do. So that's my advice. Hopefully that helps you out, both if you're a parent and the player. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, give it a thumbs up, all that good stuff. We'll talk to you later.
If you've got hitters that you're looking to improve before the start of next season, this is essential for you. Matt Antonelli here, former Major League player, first-round pick, and college coach. With this course, we're going to show you exactly, step-by-step, how to generate power, develop bat speed, and enhance swing mechanics. Regardless of your hitter's age, this course is going to deliver advanced hitting techniques that will allow any hitter to get better and make an impact at the plate this spring. We have a full catalog of training content that you can access from anywhere at any time. This course is perfect for players, parents, coaches, instructors, and more. It offers a comprehensive package of drills and techniques that you can directly implement. Our course has helped hitters all over the country at different competition levels, and the feedback that we've received has been outstanding. The work you put in now will drive your success at the plate this spring. Get the essential knowledge that you need to take your game to the next level.